What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, we're coming back to Polyphia. Yes, indeed. Polyphia fans, feeling you. Come on now. Here we go. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to do all the clicks and the likes and the bibbity-boobity-bop, do me a favor. Before you do all that stuff, please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Sean, and this is actually one of Sean's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Sean. I hope you enjoy the show, man. Sean wanted to see me react to this song by Polyphia featuring Mr. Steve Vai himself with a little tune called Ego Death. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a minute, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Polyphia, shocking. And the video has 10 million views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Polyphia, Ego Death, featuring Steve Vai, official music video. Wah, wah, wah.
Damn it!
Whenever we see that word official and it comes off either the band's official page, which in this case it does, or it comes off of the record label's official page, the chances and the odds of the video getting blocked are going to be slightly higher. Now, I'm not saying that the video is going to be blocked. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is the chances and the odds of the video getting blocked are a little bit higher. So I'm going to do what I can to try to avoid that. And we just got to wait and see what happens and hope for the best. So I guess we'll find out. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
I like the switch up. I like this part more. Listen, I got no issue, and I got no problem with the guitar playing style that the guitar player was doing through the first, like, minute and a half of the song. That finger-picking, thumping style, I got no issue with it whatsoever. I think it's really cool. I think it's really original, and you don't hear too many guitar players doing that. So I'll give them all the credit in the world for doing it and having the ability to do it. I do. Me personally, I'm just not a big fan of it. It leaves, God, how should I describe this? It leaves me wanting more, not from the tapping standpoint, but from a tonal standpoint. It does sound a little hollow. It does sound a little thin. It almost sounds like he's playing that on like a hollow body guitar, in all honesty. When it kicked in, full chords. Okay, now it filled out. Now I'm digging that. I'm digging this part. Like I said, the first minute and a half, like I said, it was cool. It was really cool. It shows off a lot of talent. I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. It's a very unique style of playing. I'm just not necessarily a fan of it. That's all. Not me personally. But this part here, yeah, I'm a fan of this part for sure. I wonder where Steve is. Haven't seen him yet. Is that Steve? That is Steve. Okay, let's pause there before Steve actually starts playing. I mean, I could say exactly what I just said, a minute and a half ago. I could just repeat myself, but I really don't feel like doing that. It's more of the same. Like I said, the tapping, it's cool, and the finger picking style and with the slapping style into the guitar, it's cool, and I give all credit where credit's due. I absolutely recognize that is not easy to do. That's actually pretty hard to do. It takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of time to get that kind of technique down, and they got it down. And it sounds good and it sounds clean. I just personally am not a big fan of it. It sounds hollow. So that's really all there is to it. I'm really interested to see what Steve Vai is going to bring to this. I mean, that's already it sounds good the way it is. I'm curious to see what Steve's going to bring to the table with this now. Okay. I don't know if that was necessary. I mean, it sounded good, but I don't know if having that trumpet slash EVI was really all that important. I don't know if it was all that necessary, but okay, sure, why not? Why not? Wonder why he didn't get any credit? Where was his credit in the name? You got Steve Vai in there. Why don't you mention this dude's name? How about that? Anyway, all right. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Polyphia featuring Steve Vai with a tune called Ego Death. This was a request from Sean, and this was actually one of Sean's 3 prioritized requests for the month of March for being a gold tier member on the Patreon page. So here you go, Sean. I hope you enjoyed the show, man. I have a score here, and I don't know, man. I have a feeling I'm going to give this score, and Polyphia fans and Steve Vai fans are going to probably lose their ever-loving minds, and they're going to go looking for the pitchforks and the torches. But listen, I promise, folks, I promise, if you hear what I have to say, I think you'll be able to find that pill a little bit easier to swallow. And hopefully you still won't want to come after me with pitchforks and torches. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
A riot is an ugly thing. And once you get one started, there is little chance of stopping it, short of bloodshed.
Having said that, let's get to the score. On a scale of 1 to 10, oh boy, I'm going to give that an 8.6. Yep, 8.6. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
A riot is an ugly thing. And I think that it is just about time that we had one!
There were 2 things. Okay, let me rephrase that. There were about 40 things that I had to take into account here. And I'm sitting here thinking about all these different things, all these 40 things, and I'm sitting there going, okay, well, hold on. These 2 things kind of go together. Okay, and these 3 things kind of go together. And I really boiled it down, and I boiled it down, and I boiled it down, and I boiled it down, and it came down to 2 things. It came down to the song, and it came down to the musicianship, okay? I'm going to start with the song. I was not a fan of the song. I'm sorry. Look, and this is where I know the pitchforks and the torches are coming. I really did not dig on the song. The song really didn't go anywhere. The song was very repetitive. There was that one spot after about a minute and a half where the song filled out, and I was like, oh, some evolution. That's good. I like that. Let's see where this goes. And then it came right back to it again, and it stayed there pretty much the rest of the song. And if I'm being honest, I was very bored with the song itself, the song writing, I was not a fan of. This song, I can guarantee you, is never going on a playlist. Now, having said that, there's the other part, which is the musicianship, the talent, the ability, and it is all there in spades. I am impressed by what these guys can do. I am definitely impressed by them. Their talent, their ability to play, the style of guitar playing that they're doing with the finger picking and slapping and popping style. Big fan of that as far as ability and technique go. I don't necessarily like the sound because it does get a little hollow. It sounds like they're playing on a hollow body guitar. And a lot of the meat and the beef and the fullness of a song relies on full chords being played. Well, there's a lot of parts in the song where we didn't have that. It was look at me, watch me, be impressed by what I do, and worship what I do. I'm never a really big fan of that, but I am absolutely going to give credit where credit's due, and I will acknowledge the talent and the ability that it takes to be able to play like that. Absolutely. I will not deny that. I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of it, but it is what it is, and it is fun to watch. I will absolutely say that. It is fun to watch them do that, and it's an interesting take on how to play guitar. It's unique. It's not something I haven't heard a whole lot of. So I will give credit where credit's due on both of the guitar players' parts. The bass player did a fine job keeping the bottom end there, which was really nice. The drumming was tight. I think the highlight of the song was honestly the drumming for me. The drumming was tight. It sounded really good, very tasteful, some great fill work, but never taking the spotlight away from the guitar players. Always playing very tastefully. You know, fills were needed, but never when they weren't needed. You know what I mean? But some great subdivision work, some great cymbal work on that hi-hat, man. The hi-hat work in particular, very tight. He got some great rolls coming off of that hi-hat right back into the snares and the toms again. Steve Vai being involved in this, I had mixed feelings. Was Steve Vai necessary? No. Did Steve Vai really contribute anything of note to the song? Other than his name? No. I don't think his playing was really all that needed. I think the other two guitar players could have played exactly what he was playing and it would have been fine. I think they could have played exactly what he was playing, and honestly, seeing the guitar player talent that these guys have, that Polyphia have, they probably could have played it just as well. Okay, so I don't think Steve Vai was necessary. I don't think having Steve Vai there was needed. I don't think he really contributed anything other than his name to the song. But now here's the thing though. The name. Steve Vai's name carries a lot of weight, especially in the prog and guitar virtuoso community. He is one of the goats of guitar enthusiasts. I mean, he's right up there. Him, Joe Satriani, Gary Hoy, Yngwie Malmsteen, Blue Saraceno, Eric Johnson. I mean, the list goes on and on, but we're talking about guitar virtuosos, guys who made their living playing guitar, not playing guitar and singing. You know, a lot of people are going to be like, what about Stevie Ray Vaughan? What about Stevie Ray Vaughan? You know, I don't consider Stevie Ray Vaughan a guitar virtuoso like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, Eric Johnson. We're talking about guys that don't have vocals. They rely completely on their guitar playing. And you listen to any of their albums and you'll see what I'm talking about. And now people are going to go, what about Eric Clapton? What about Jimi Hendrix? What about Eric Clapton? What about Jimi Hendrix? You know, again, they're not guitar virtuosos. Not like Steve Vai is, Joe Satriani is, Gary Hoy is, Eric Johnson is, Blue Saraceno is, Yngwie Malmsteen is. And I'm not counting Yngwie Malmsteen's Rising Force. That's a completely separate thing. I mean him with his solo project. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Not his band. Anyway, his name does carry a ton of weight. So, bringing Steve Vai in for this collaboration, and let's be honest, that's what this was, okay? It was a collaboration. Very smart move on Polyphia's part, because by bringing in Steve Vai into this song, it's going to attract a lot of Steve Vai fans who may or may not have ever heard of Polyphia, let alone heard anything by them. So now here come all these Steve Vai fans to see what Steve Vai is doing with this band called Polyphia that they've never heard of. And they're going to see these guitar players, hear what they're playing, see what the bass player and the drummer are playing, and they're going to go, oh, this is really good. I wonder what else they have. Next thing you know, they're grabbing Steve Vai fans, you know, and they're making them into Polyphia fans. And I know everybody's thinking, well, that's very one way. No, it's not, because here's the thing. Polyphia has a pretty big fan base of their own that maybe have heard of Steve Vai, but have never really given them a chance. Now they're listening to what Steve Vai is playing, they see what he can do with his guitar, and they're wondering, I wonder what else he can do. And now all these Polyphia fans that have never heard Steve Vai actually play, they've heard of him, but they've never heard him play before. Now they've seen him play, now they've heard him play, and now they're gonna go, I wonder what else he can do. Whoop, exit stage right, go check out Flexible, and go check out Passion and Warfare. Start there, and then work your way up. and I guarantee you're going to be pretty impressed with what you find. But in any case, it goes both ways, and this is why collaborations I think are really, really cool, and they can be a really useful tool if they're done properly. Now, here's the thing about collaborations: they have to make sense, and they have to be done well. Now, between those two, what's more important? Execution. It has to be done well. It has to be entertaining. It has to be done well. It has to be very appealing to the audience. Does it always have to make sense? No, it doesn't have to make sense. But if it does make sense, like if you look at the title and you see these two things collaborating together, if it makes sense, it's going to be more appealing and it's going to attract more people to see it and hear it. Whereas if it doesn't make sense, a lot of people are going to look at it and go, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. I'm not going to waste my time." They don't even give it a chance, despite the fact that it might be brilliant. But people will be turned off by the fact that it doesn't look, on paper, it doesn't look right. You know what I mean? If it looks right on paper, it's going to attract more people. And that's when you better make sure that it's going to be executed well, because I have seen collaborations that on paper should have made sense. It should have worked. This should have been amazing. And it's so poorly executed. And then it's a real turnoff. Then you lose everybody. So if you're going to do a collaboration, make sure it's going to be done well. And at the same time, hopefully do your best to make it make sense. And this collaboration made sense on paper. It made perfect sense. And it was well done, okay? What Steve played fit perfectly within the song. I just wonder, like I said, I don't know if having him was necessarily a needed thing. Now, for the purpose of collab and cross-marketing, yeah, absolutely, it makes perfect sense, and do it, absolutely do it. But for the sake of the song itself, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, like I said, it sounded good, it worked out. What Steve played sounded really good, as always. I mean, I don't expect anything less from him. So, that's not a surprise, but yeah, I don't know if he was needed for the sake of the song itself. Like I said, this really boiled down to two things. The talent was there. The talent's always there from these guys. This is only my second time seeing them, I believe, if I remember correctly. This is my second time seeing them. And yeah, they're still talented. Obviously, they're a talented group of guys playing a very unique guitar style, which you don't see from pretty much anybody else. So I gotta give credit where credit's due. And I absolutely will acknowledge that the credit is there. And it was a well-written song. I just don't think the song was particularly up my alley. It just didn't go anywhere. It just didn't evolve, like other than that one spot. And about the minute and a half mark when it filled out, and I was like, "Oh, here we go." Nope, not here we go. Here we go, all right back to where we were at the beginning. Oh, so yeah, yeah. So anyway, 8.6 though. Look, it's still a great score. Okay, and I'm basing it mostly on the talent and the ability, not on the songwriting. Yeah, but the talent and the ability definitely got them up in the 8.6, and having Steve Vai come along, I guess it's a good thing. In the overall scope of things, yeah, it's a good thing. It helps them out more than anything. I guarantee you, it helps Polyphia out way more than it helps Steve Vai out. I guarantee you that. But look, as long as everybody's happy with the situation, that's all that matters. 8.6, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.